In the heart of Africa, where the soil is rich and the air hums with life, there lived a wise old farmer named Mzee Kamali. He was known throughout the village of Kasumba as a man of great patience and a deep understanding of the world. One morning, just as the sun began to climb over the hills, he walked to the center of his compound, a small mango seedling in his hands. His children gathered around him, curious, their young faces glowing with hope. He pressed the seedling into the ground and said, "My children, this tree will feed not only us but those who will come after us. Every mango it bears will remind you that patience and care always bring sweet fruit." The children cheered. To them, the mango tree was a promise of sweetness and abundance. The tree grew slowly, reaching for the sky as the seasons passed. Each year its branches thickened, its leaves widened, and its roots dug deeper into the warm earth. The children watered it faithfully, imagining baskets full of ripe mangoes. Beneath its shade they told stories, laughed, and watched the clouds drift by. When travelers passed, they stopped to rest under its cool branches. The tree was strong, green, and beautiful. But as the years went by, something strange became clear. Not a single mango appeared. The children grew older, and their smiles turned to worry. The youngest asked one evening, "Father, why does the tree give no fruit?" Mzee Kamali smiled gently and said, "Everything has its own time. A mango tree does not rush the sun." Years rolled by, and still no fruit came. The village began to whisper. Some said the soil was cursed. Others said the tree was barren and useless. But Mzee Kamali remained calm. "You do not cut a child's arm because it fails to carry a load," he told his family. "Patience will show us what this tree was meant for." His sons, however, were less forgiving. "Father," they pleaded, "why keep a tree that gives us nothing? It gives no fruit. It gives no income. Let us cut it and plant another." The old man simply shook his head. One who destroys what he does not understand destroys his own blessing. Let it stand. Time passed, and Mzee Kamali grew old and frail. He would sit beneath the mango tree every evening, watching the sun sink into the horizon. When he died, the entire village mourned, and the mango tree became his silent tombstone. His sons wanted to cut it down to build a granary, but they remembered his words and left it standing. Still, the tree gave no fruit, yet its roots held the soil together, its shade cooled the ground, and its leaves sang with every wind that blew. It had not borne mangoes, but it had given life in another way. Then came a year of disaster. The rains failed. The river dried up, the crops withered in the fields, and the land cracked like broken clay pots. People grew desperate as the sun scorched everything in its path. During that terrible time, the only cool place in the entire village was under the great mango tree that Mzee Kamali had planted so long ago. Every day, villagers gathered there to rest, to share what little food they had, and to comfort each other. Children played in its shade, the elders told stories, and for a few hours each day, people forgot their hunger. The same tree that everyone had once mocked had become their only refuge. The people began to understand Mzee Kamali's wisdom. Perhaps the tree's purpose was not to give fruit, but to give life in its own way. As the drought worsened, people began to cut down trees for firewood to cook the little food they had. One morning, a group of men came to the mango tree and marked it with red paint, meaning it would be cut next. Mzee Kamali's youngest daughter, Amina, ran out crying. "Please don't cut that tree," she begged. "It is our father's memory." But an elder replied sadly, "Child, no one plants a mango tree for firewood. But when it fails to bear fruit, the purpose changes." The villagers raised their axes and struck the bark. The great tree shook with every blow, and when it finally fell, a heavy silence filled the air. As the dust settled, someone noticed something shining inside the hollow trunk. When they looked closer, they found several small mango seeds hidden within. Birds had dropped them there over the years, seeds from distant lands that had found safety within the barren tree's heart. The villagers stood in awe. Even in its death, the mango tree had given them something precious. Amina gathered the seeds and said, "If my father were here, he would tell us that purpose is never truly lost. It only changes its form." The villagers planted the seeds across Kasumba, watering them with care and hope. Seasons came and went. Years passed. Soon, hundreds of mango trees stood tall and green throughout the village. Each one bore sweet, juicy fruit that fed the people and their children after them. And in the middle of the village, they left a stump where the old tree had once stood. It became a place of remembrance, a lesson carved into the earth. The people began to tell the story to their children. There once was a mango tree that never bore fruit, but from its hollow came many others that fed a nation. The old saying spread beyond Kasumba: no one plants a mango tree for the purpose of getting firewood from it. But when it fails to bear fruits, the purpose changes. They learned that sometimes what we expect from life is not what life gives us. But that does not mean we are useless. Even a barren tree can give shade. Even a quiet person can bring peace. Even failure can become the seed of future success. The story of the mango tree reminds us that we should not rush to judge when things don't go as planned. When people change, when relationships shift, when life takes another turn, perhaps the purpose is simply evolving. We must learn to see beyond the fruit we expected and find value in the shade that remains. Mzee Kamali's legacy lived not in the mangoes he ate, but in the wisdom he left behind. When something fails to give what you want, look deeper. It might be giving what you need. As the sun rises over Kasumba today, it shines upon rows of mango trees that dance in the wind. Their fruits are sweet, but their story is sweeter. Every villager who bites into a mango remembers the old man and the tree that taught them about purpose, patience, and change. Sometimes life does not give us what we planned for, but it gives us something else, something just as important. Remember, when your purpose changes, it may be because life has found another way for you to matter. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more tales of wisdom. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one.